How's it going? Um, Before I start off, I want to say sorry in advance. Um, there's the story that I've been trying to, I guess, put off sharing, because it wasn't really, uh, it's not really my story to share, but uh, as of today, I finally got the full story, um, and yeah, I feel like you know, it's something that needs to be put out there. It's a tad controversial, so, you know, however you feel about it. Um, so, for those of you that don't know, I live across the street from a school. I believe it's an elementary school. Um, but I don't know. It's either an elementary school or middle school. Point is, there was a stranger on campus or on the center. It's not even like a large like school. It's tiny. But this guy went in through the main office and claimed he was trying to pick up his kid. Um, this was a couple of days ago, and he was acting really shifty. Like, didn't really try to make eye contact with too many people. He had like a backpack that was just oddly shaped. Um, and Thankfully, nothing happened. One of the staff members kind of acted on instinct, and instead of just letting whatever was going to happen, she decided to tackle him, and they called the cops immediately. Um, they were basically there for a couple of hours dealing with him and the whole situation, and nobody really found out the full story uh, till a couple of days later. I mean, I'm just getting it today from some families in the neighborhood. I don't have any kids that, you know, I just don't have any kids. And I make no intention of it, but the fact that this happened literally across the street from me, I don't know. It's kind of a ridiculous thing to think that something pretty seriously bad could have happened because some crazed fucking person who just didn't know how to handle himself. I don't know. um, it could have been a worse situation. It could have been much worse. Um, but it's something that I feel needs to be spoken on. Um, though I feel like the media is just full of all sorts of just horrible, horrible things. I mean, we're basically on the verge of a world war, and we're still reporting on stuff happening here. Like, I don't know. I don't really think that bodes well for our country. Maybe that's getting a little too political, but I mean, hey, whatever. I don't even know if I should post this. Uh, um, yeah. So anyway, the the situation's obviously been taken care of. The guy's in custody or whatever. Um, Nobody got hurt. Um, it's fucked up to think, you know, like growing up, I went to a school that had a bunch of issues. I believe it's like the name was like Toltec. It's an elementary school. Toltec middle school. Yeah, sorry. Um, but yeah, I think it was one of the only D-rated schools in the state at the time. Um, it was basically out in the middle of nowhere, Arizona, and I realized like by saying the name, I'm kind of putting it on blast. Granted, I hear that they've gotten better. I haven't been there long enough to be able to have checked. Um, but in my time there, we had uh, pedophile teachers, strangers on campus. The school system lost me a good number of times. A bomb threat. It was a really interesting time, you know? But the fact that all of that happened and nothing changed in the time I was there, it's ridiculous. You know? Like, I think nowadays, a lot of schools, maybe not even just like the schools, but the districts or whatever, are so focused on numbers and everything and less focused on trying to improve, like the well-being and the education system of the students in their system, that when something like this happens, they don't really like, they're looking at it as just a statistic. It's not really, oh, I mean, we're losing out on students, we just need to get more students back. Kids died. Not at this, and not at my, well, I don't know if anybody actually did at my other school, but it wouldn't surprise me. I'm pretty sure there was a suicide on campus or something, but they didn't tell us anything ever. So um but God, I realized yesterday was like kind of depressing, but this is probably really bad. Like I said, I only got the story today, so basically what I was trying to say is like the school systems and everything look at students as not people but just a number. Like, we get so much money from a single student. That's a number. They're just a price. All they see is dollar signs at this point. And it's fucking ridiculous because they're just trying to line their pockets and they don't give two shits about teaching kids, like even for starters, like basic like firearm safety or something like that. I got that in ROTC, but that's like I only had ROTC as like an elective. Not everybody takes something like that. Granted, I didn't necessarily take it for the reasons I should have, but I still did. They taught us a lot, and I appreciate it. I personally would never go into the military because I don't necessarily want to throw myself in front of a bullet. But for those of you that do, I appreciate you, and I respect the hell out of you. That being said, I'm a coward, I guess. I don't like violence. I I did do sword fighting for a while. I appreciate the elegance of it and the the grace that comes with being able to work with something like that. But at the same time, I don't know that I'd ever want to put my life on the line for something like that. Like, I don't know. Personally, I want to do what I can to try to further the causes of peace, but there are so many things in this world that have made me think that peace is not easy, almost unachievable, and I don't want to say unachievable because it kind of detracts from the idea of even starting in the first place. But I'd like to think that it is achievable in one way or another. I would like to think that one day, humankind can just evolve as a whole and we wouldn't have to worry too much, hopefully, about stupid people or crazy people going into fucking schools with weapons. I don't know. I It's not like it's like terribly a personal issue at this point, but like like I said, I go on my walks every day and like I try to make as many friends as I can, some of which are kids that go to this school. And I don't want to, wake up the next day and find out that these really awesome people, like these really awesome young people, are just not around anymore because some psychopath decided he was having a bad day and bought a bunch of fucking firearms. Sorry, God. I don't know if this is something that I even can post, so I might try to post a cheerier thing. Maybe. Christ. Look, I'm sorry for the, dour update, but it's it's kind of what's going on, at the moment. Like, a lot of the neighborhood's kind of talking about it, and it's like people are trying to figure out, like, what to do about it. I can't really say that, like, I can really help. I'm not involved in the school system. I don't have a child that's going to said school. Though if I did, God. That's part of the reason why I don't want to have kids, is because I don't want to worry about them coming home fucking with bullet holes. It's sad to think that today, like, even growing up, like, when I was younger, and in school, like, we had drills and whatnot for strangers on campus and shit like that, and like what is it? Shooting drills. That's it. Where like somebody would, like they would close down the whole campus. We'd lock the doors and windows and like close the fucking blinds to everything, and you know hide in the fucking classrooms and everything like that. Like that's gonna do a whole lot, but still, it's it's sad to think that that's something that we grow up with now. That's such a common occurrence that's something that we need to learn about. Like, yeah, you've got your earthquake drills, your fire drills, your fucking school shooter drills. Like, it's ridiculous. We've had a lot this year alone, and it's ridiculous how many are not being talked about. Like, I feel like, yeah, that should be something that we're reporting on. I don't know. I don't know. God. This isn't really my, talking, like, this isn't what I would usually be talking about in any regard. It's just the fact that it literally happened across the street that it's got me on edge. So, sorry. God. Just don't do stupid stuff. Like, if you have a gun, lock it up, please. For the safety of you and your kids and other people's kids. I know there's this whole fucking stigma of like, I'm responsible for my safety and that's it. I'm worried about me and nobody else. Fucking the safety of other people can help your own safety. I'm finding that out personally by just going out and having the conversations that I've been having. Like I think I mentioned a couple of videos ago that a new gang moved in. They're not exactly seeming like nice people to other gang members, but I'm trying to make myself as a friendly face so that every time I walk by them, they're, happy to see me. You know, I'm smiling, I'm waving and everything like that. They smile and wave back. They ask me how my day is. And, you know, I feel like I'm building those kinds of bonds. So if something does happen to me, I've at least got other people who would actually be willing to look out for me as opposed to just trying to blend into the background and be non existent. Because the more blending in you do, the more likely it is somebody's going to just easily be able to, like, pick you out of the crowd and you'll be gone and nobody will notice. You know? I want to be noticed. I really do. Because I don't want to be a statistic. I want to be a specific something that was important at one point, I guess. I don't even know where the fuck I'm going with this. I, God. Just don't do stupid shit. Lock your guns up. Be safe for other people and yourself. Safety, like, concern in other people's safety helps you as well. I promise it does. It may not seem like it. Like, I don't know. God. I don't know. Until next time. Peace.